Alright, hello and welcome. Today we're going to be going over a gear guide for Ready or Not. Yeah, update pushed, and I thought I'd make this because, nobody really talks about this stuff, I guess. So, what happened with the new update? Well, it's been a while since I played Ready or Not. It's around 6 months. So, if you haven't played since then, well, they added a whole bunch of crap. First of all, you can set up your entire loadout from your loadout screen in your fucking gear locker, right? And you can change everyone's loadout here. This is very different because you used to have to go over to the fucking weapons bench over here, which you can still do, but you don't need to do that no more. You can modify it all from one screen right here, right? You just basically select your rifle, and then double click it and bop it a boopy, okay? So, for the purposes of this, what has changed with, this stuff, right? Well, quite a lot actually. So, we'll just go over everything and I'll start from top to bottom. So, the primary weapons, okay? So, we have probably new primary weapons out the ass, okay? So, here's a recommendation for you. Quick and simple. You need to carry an assault rifle, okay? A lot of the new maps and guys have body armor, and assault rifles are used in real life because they help with armor penetration, okay? I don't care what assault rifle you use. I use the 416. They call it the GA 416 for copyright reasons, but it's the 416. You can use whatever you want. I really don't care. Subguns, the reason they fell out of favor in real life is because they don't have very good body armor penetration, okay? And the fact that assault rifles can now be shorter than they were back then, right? An M16A2 back in the day was a lot bigger and longer than an MP5 was, right? So, again, I wouldn't recommend submachine guns unless you're going into some low-level situation where they're not wearing body armor, and really that's just more for your fun. Immersion-wise, pretty much everyone carries an assault rifle, okay? Shotguns they're iffy, right? They are very good at their job, which is close quarters, okay? Shotguns, you can use them. One guy in your stack can have them. It's not a bad idea, okay? They added this M32A1 flash, okay? You can use this. I wouldn't recommend it, okay? It's going to fire flash grenades only, right? That's it. You don't have a primary weapon, and we'll get to why that's bad, but basically you don't have a primary weapon, which means you don't have any ammo to do basically anything besides a sidearm. Okay, maybe your 32 flash can work if you have a shield. That's the one situation I'd say it in. And less than lethal, let's be honest here, these are American cops. We don't use less than lethal, okay? If you are going to do a quote unquote less than lethal run with everybody using less than lethal weapons, then sure. But, in my opinion, this game is not set up for that in any way, shape, or form, okay? Because guys can shoot through walls and kill you, okay? SWAT 4 used to have a preference for you getting an acing and completing a mission. You had to basically kill no one. If that's what you want to do and have fun, then go ahead. But basically, nobody's going to do that because, guns. So, summary, take a 416, okay? I would recommend that if you're going to run any assault rifle, that you put a suppressor on, okay? You can run different optics now. These long range optics, these 1 to 12 and 1 to 4s. Here's the problem. Well, there are many problems, but one of the problems is that it lowers your ADS. But in reality, these things don't actually give you enough optical, like they don't actually focus in far enough, and there's no way to change up their settings. So yeah, right. They're not very good. And again, the ranges you're going to be engaging at, you basically just need a holographic. Okay, you're not engaging somebody across the map at like 400 meters. At most, you're engaging somebody maybe 25 meters away from you. Next is your muzzle brakes. You can have muzzle brakes for bigger things, bigger loud things, bigger explosions to contain your recoil, okay? Most guys run suppressors now. The United States Army runs suppressors because the reason you run suppressors is it lowers the decibel, you don't have a muzzle flash because you're running a suppressor. There's a lot of benefits for running a suppressor, so that's what I would recommend you do. I'd recommend your angled grip, okay? Your vertical grip is only going to give you one effect, which basically reduces vertical recoil, and angled grips reduce vertical and increase your ADS speed, and in reality, they are just the best grip. You could also run a combat grip if you wanted to. It technically is better. It's all up to you on what you want here. Combat grip, angled grip, whatever. Angled grip is actually probably one of the better ones, at least in real life, but hey, it's a game. Next, you have your lasers, okay? Do you want to run, you can either run an IR laser, which means you have to have nods on to see it. You have laser that's going to be lasing everything in front of you, and you have a flashlight, okay? I would recommend you, if you're going to run a night op, you run the IR, okay? If you're not, you can run a laser or you can run a flashlight. I probably recommend you a flashlight, okay? And the reason for it is a lot of these maps can be dark, and if you're not going to run your nods, then you need some way to see, okay? A laser pointer is probably the worst one of these options, okay? So just do what you want there. Next, we will go to your sidearm. Okay, so your sidearm. So there is one less than lethal option, and it's a taser, and it's terrible. Okay, now I'm going to skip a little bit ahead. The reason it is terrible now is because it has one use. So basically, you can spec your gear, which we'll get into in a minute, but basically, you have to sacrifice one 30-round mag for every taser shot you have. That's why the taser is fucking trash. Okay? Don't take it. Take pepper spray or take a beanbag shotgun. Take something else. Okay? Don't take that. Another thing, I wouldn't recommend your 1911s or anything, or the 357 Magnum. Okay? Very simple reason here. So, they changed how much ammo you can carry on your person. Okay? So, for your sidearm, you get one mag. That's it. It's one in the gun. It's not one in the gun and extra. It's one in the gun. Okay? You can increase this, but you're dropping, again, magazines on your main weapon. Okay? And if you have 7 shots, it's over very quickly. Okay? If you want to run around with it, I honestly couldn't care less. If you want to have fun and you want to run around with a 45, you go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Okay? I would recommend that you carry a high-capacity sidearm. Okay? Because in my builds, and what I recommend for you to take, you take one magazine. That's it, okay? Your sidearm is for the oh shit moment that you need to draw it really quickly. If you can fire 17 to 19 shots in that oh shit moment, you've already fucked up real bad, okay? You need to reload your primary weapon. It's your oh shit gun. That's it, okay? I'd only recommend you take one mag, because we'll get into this thing right here, but basically you have to either choose primary magazines or secondary magazines. And if you have to do that, then take a sidearm that has, high capacity. So I take the G19, okay? Customize it. I'd give it an RMR, just because I like that sight. I'd give it either compensator or suppressor. I go comp, because this is the oh shit gun. And I'd also give it a flashlight. This also duels over. If you have a IR laser on your primary weapon, you can pull out your secondary, right? And then be able to shine a light on something and actually see what you're looking at, in case you are running nods, okay? It's very helpful for that situation, okay? And don't take, basically, summary again, take a pistol, don't take a 357 Magnum or a 45, take one with high capacity, and don't take the taser. That's it, okay? Next, your long tactical, okay? You get one of these. Now, this is what I'm going to say about this. You only need one guy to run a mirror gun, okay? If you have a 5-man team, you need one guy to run a mirror gun, that's it, okay? You could say that you could do it out of every other person, but you're going to be losing tactical benefit from that, okay? Usually your team leader is going to run the mirror gun, okay? If he goes down, the basic mission's already fucked anyway, and you already fucked up because he died, okay? Next is the breaching shotgun, okay? This is the one I usually run for my teams. You get 25 plus shots, okay? It's around 25 to 30, that's it, okay? The last test I ran, it was 28 to 27 shots. Now, that's a lot of shots. Remember, you only need one to blow a door hinge off, okay? That's 28 doors. You're not going to run out in a mission, okay? You have to be spraying this thing pretty wildly to do that, okay? Next are your ballistic shields. If you're going to run a shield comp, then you're going to take a shield. If you're not running a shield comp, then you don't need a shield. One of the things with the shield is you cannot aim down your sights with your sidearm, okay? It's even worse on your 357 Magnum and your 45, because you can't hit the broadside of a barn because you can't aim, okay? More ammo in your sidearm means better hits for your shield, okay? Next is the battering ram, okay? Battering ram is good. Battering ram does what it says on the tin. I'd recommend a breaching shotgun over it, okay? The reason is because for the battering ram to work, you basically have to be on the door to blow it, okay? To hit the thing, and the AI can shoot through the door and instantly deck you, okay? Our breaching shotgun, you can be far away from the door, shoot it at a cross angle, like a 45-degree angle, and it will blow open the door. It's a lot safer for you, okay? Especially if you do that and there's a fragmentation grenade there and it will kill all of you and you didn't check it, or if there's a flashbang and it's going to stun everyone, this will allow you to shoot it from a far distance and be in cover and not die. Okay? Next are these launchers, okay? These are new. So here it is. These are 4 grenades. You get 4 in whatever variety. 4 flashbangs, 4 stingers, 4 gas. That's it, okay? If you want to take it and you don't want to carry grenades, it's a valid option, okay? You just remember it's only 4 shots. That's it, okay? Those are all valid options. If you're going to run a shield, then we'll get to this part, which we're going to get to next, right? If you're going to run a shield, then you're going to need sidearm ammo because you're running the shield. That's all I'll say on that, okay? Next is your armor. Okay, this is the new thing. So, how it used to work back in the day was that you had light and you had heavy armor, okay? That was it. So, now they've added a stab vest, okay? Now, stab vest is to prevent you from getting, stabbed, okay? Because plates are not very good at that, we'll be honest. Now, stabbing, for you to wear this, you have already fucked up because the person, one, had to get close enough. First of all, the person had to either be behind you or is charging towards you. Second, you didn't shoot that person. Third, they got so close that they stabbed you for this to work, okay? This is a terrible vest, okay? Now, I wouldn't take this, ever. Unless you're doing some weird run or something, okay? Light armor, it has 13 slots, okay? So the main reason that you would take a stab vest over a light armor vest is for the 2 slots. I wouldn't recommend that at all, okay? Those 2 slots really aren't going to do a lot. Now, for a heavy armor to light armor, you could argue that it would, okay? If you're going to run long support with a rifle, I could see a stab vest working, but really, no, probably not, okay? And for some reason, you can put place in a stab vest, and that's not how that works. So yeah. So, for this example, we'll go light armor, okay? Now, you have 3 different armor types, okay? There's Kevlar, ceramic, and steel. There's a little bug right now with the FBI HRT, because I have it, and I can tell you this. Steel is, it's actually happening right here. So, Kevlar is technically your least one, okay? In theory, steel should be here, and ceramic should be over here, okay, as your options, okay? I'll go show you how this is fucked up right now. Okay, so I could get the bug replicate, but basically, steel and ceramic can change places. Like, ceramic can be where steel is, and steel can be where ceramic is, okay? It's a bug. They'll probably fix it eventually, right? But here's the main problem with these, is Kevlar, ceramic, and steel only slow down your acceleration. They don't slow down your main movement speed, okay? That means how fast you can actually go. So, for example, I'm going to put in heavy armor, and I'm going to do coverage for basically all sides, okay? And I'm going to run around and show you that it's not that bad, okay? So you can see that our initial movement speed is pretty slow, but then we start to pick it up, okay? And we're probably at max speed right now, right? And you're going to see that, we're moving pretty fast, right? Basically as fast as you possibly can. And it doesn't matter what armor you have, it will never change how fast you can go, okay? Now, I'm going to go to a stab vest and have no armor, because I don't have any protection, right? And we're going to see that it basically doesn't matter. All you can do is go a little faster at the initial start. That is it. Your max speed does not change, okay? But you lose so much when you do this, okay? So I'll go over to the armor thing and I'll show you this, okay? So, when you do this, you're going to lose all your protection on your stab vest because, no armor, right? Light armor, you can choose different materials for where it is, right? And then heavy armor, I think you should be able to actually select where it is, but it's, again, a little buggy right now, right here. So, if you have a light armor, you don't have the ability to choose where your placement is, okay, for your armor slots, okay? On heavy armor, apparently you do. Let's check. Okay, so you have to go out of the menu again, and then you can select, okay, front only and front and back, okay? So we'll get to this, right? So, what do most SWAT guys in real life run, okay? They run heavy armor, okay? They run heavy armor with the heaviest plates possible, okay? Now, the reason they do this is very simple, okay? They are going into a situation in which having the most armor is valuable, okay? Because you're not humping miles, right? You're not a regular army unit that's going to have to drag your gear over and hump miles and miles with gear, okay? That's why you have lighter plate carriers for guys like that. You're going into a situation in which you need to clear a building or something small and tactical, right? And in that case, most guys are going to armor up to their max fullest. They're going to have shoulder pad, back plates, heavy plates everywhere, okay? Because you're not going to be exerting yourself as much as you would if you had to hump this over miles, right? So that's why they wear it in real life. In the game, it's similar, okay? In the game, you have the ability to choose your armor setup, okay? Now, here's the main problem. Heavy armor is going to protect you best from basically getting shot and stabbed and all that stuff, okay? and it's not slowing down your movement speed enough. The only thing it is doing is reducing the amount of slots you have, okay? And slots are basically this thing right here, which we'll talk about. Slots are your ability to carry basically extra ammunition, flashbangs, and deployables, okay? If you downgrade your armor, you get more. For light armor, you get 2 more slots, and for the stab vest, you get another 2 at 15, okay? So 15, 13, 11, okay? But here's the problem. If you're running a 5-man stack, you should all be running heavy armor because the ability to survive actually getting shot is very important, okay? Again, see? Here's the bug right now. For steel and ceramic, it's a little fucky right here, right? But the rightmost armor is the heaviest, and that's what I would recommend, okay? So, if we get out of this menu and come back, right, you can see that, I don't know why. Again, it's a bug, right? But the heaviest armor should be on the right side, right? I would take that. I would also put your coverage to your maximum, right? I do front, back, and sides because you're going into a situation in which you can get shot, right? Having being able to survive a shot is very valuable, okay? Especially in this game because you only have 5 men, which isn't realistic, but you have 5 people. And that's it. If one of you goes down, you're losing a lot of firepower, okay? That's why I'd recommend the heaviest plates and the heaviest armor, okay? So, for that, I would recommend you do the following. If you're going to run full armor, okay, you should run only basically primary and 1 secondary mag, okay? So, to basically change your slots out here, you need to edit this slot thing once you have your armor selected, okay? And here, you can determine the amount of basically pouches of where things go, right? If you're going to run heavy armor, I'd recommend you bump up your primaries, okay? I wouldn't recommend tacticals. Now, here is why, okay? So, tacticals, or deployables, sorry. So, deployables are what you can basically carry around that's not, you know, grenades. So, here is the problem with this. So, lockpick guns allow you to unlock the door quietly, apparently. I will tell you that the AI doesn't give a fuck and they will turn around and shoot you in the face, okay? Lockpicking, you know, And if you're running into a room full of a suspect that's armed and you're an American cop, you shoot through the door and kill them. In this game, you need to yell through the door and say, hey, drop your weapon. A bit unhistorical, but hey, you know. Pepper spray is the one thing that you could use here, and door wedges, okay? The C2 explosive can be used, but you also are not able to fully scan a room with a wand, and you can end up killing a civilian very easily by using C2 explosive, and your teammates on top of that, okay? The door wedge has a purpose, but it's only 1 door wedge. That's it. 1 door wedge, and you can't get the door wedge back. So once you deploy it, it's over. And generally, in this game, if the game is structured in a way to allow 5 people to move through a room, right? Because you're not going to have, like, 4 guys holding an alleyway, which is what you would do in real life. You can't do that in this game, okay? Usually in this game, if you're going to do a door wedge, you're going to lock a little door, like a few areas off, and then come back to it later, okay? That's what this prevents. If you want to run door wedges, that's completely viable on you. I just wouldn't say that it is worth it, because if there's 5 men, they're running in a 5-man stack, and there's way too many doors for you to wedge, because there's way too many doors for you to cover, and you can't wedge them all either. That's why there's a mod that lets you have 10 people. And for 10 people, you can see that you can start, you know, getting a lot more value out of it, okay? The one thing I would recommend here is pepper spray, okay? You could run this on 2 guys, and they'd each sacrifice a slot to run pepper spray, and this is your best non-lethal option to get compliance out of people, okay? Besides hitting them with the rifle. You can run this, and that's what I would recommend, right? But if I'm an assaulter and I only need ammo, then I'm going to drop my deployables, okay? So, if I'm not running any tacticals, what am I going to run? Very simple. If you're going to do this with heavy armor, I'd recommend 8 primary magazines, 1 secondary magazine, and 2 tactical grenades, okay? Now, you could drop more primary magazines for your grenades, because your grenades are flashbangs, CS, and stingers, okay? So let's get into this. Flashbangs are the best grenade, okay? They allow you to get in the door and, you know, do your job. And stun the enemy. CS, gas, is situationally useful. You have to have a gas mask, right, from your thing right here to basically use it properly, because otherwise you're just gassing somebody and they will recover by the time you get in the room, because gas is dispersed, okay? Next is Stinger. Stinger is funny because it's basically a frag grenade, more or less, with rubber balls, okay? It makes people hurt. Now, they will be stunned, hurt, and they'll walk around not dropping their weapon and stuff and be disorientated, right? And they can still turn around, and once that animation finishes, then shoot you. Again, not very good. So that's why I'd recommend a flashbang. Basically, only flashbangs, right? and 1 pistol magazine. Now, if you have 8 primary and 1 pistol, you have a lot of ammo on your primary. There's a lot of ammo to burn through, okay? And you shouldn't burn through that many. But hey, you never know, right? AP and JHP. Okay, AP is for if you're going against guys that have body armor. A lot of the newer levels and a lot of the tougher levels, they have body armor, okay? If they're going to be running body armor, you're taking AP rounds. If you're doing Drug House where nobody has any body armor, then you're going to run JHP, okay? Because JHP is going to destroy their bodies, okay? And basically you do more damage, more or less, okay? So, JHP, if you know you're going into a mission where the suspects do not have armor, otherwise you run AP. If you are unsure on what the suspects are going to be wearing, default to AP, okay? That's what regular SWAT does in real life. Defaults to AP, okay? If they don't know. And you have flashbangs, okay? And I've gone over the flashbangs and deployables, okay? And remember, you can edit more slots. You get 2 more slots if you have light armor, okay? So you can take 2 more grenades or whatever you wanted there, okay? But I wouldn't recommend it. Lastly is your headwear, okay? So they've changed the NVG model, as you can see, is a little bit better and not like archaic. This is what I recommend. If you are going to do heavy armor in this setup with the side plates and everything else already matched in and max locked, okay? Take the ballistic face mask. Now, the reason I say that is because you can see that your vision is limited a little bit on the corners, but that's it, and it gives you full coverage. If you look down there on the bottom left, you can see my character. Well, actually, my face is in the way, but you can see that your character has full armor down there. Okay, if you run this full setup, you can see they have full armor from their head, their shoulders, all the way to their torsos. Okay, now that is very good. Okay, because it prevents you from getting shot. In real life, this mask doesn't really do much. Besides protect you against fragmentation. That's very good for soldiers. I don't think you're going to have a frag grenade thrown at you as a SWAT guy, okay? The next best thing if you want to run is anti-flash goggles. It's very good to run into a room and not get flashbanged, and that basically helps you do that, okay? The C-burn. If you're going to run gas, everyone needs to run this. If not, don't. This is, again, why I say that it may not be worth it to run gas because of it, okay? Usually most people are going to run anti-flash goggles. I'd either recommend anti-flash goggles or the ballistic face mask. And the reason I say ballistic face mask over anti-flash goggles is it is very easy to avoid getting flashbanged in this game. Basically, you throw the flashbang in, right? You look away, and it goes off, and you go in, and they're stunned, okay? And you have more protection that way. That's up to you and what you want to do there. The last thing is NVGs. If you're going to run a night thing with the IR laser and everything, you're going to need NVGs. It's as simple as that, okay? And they have a pretty good field of view. I can try and show you right here, right? They actually have a pretty decent field of view. This is better field of view than you're going to get in real life, I'll tell you that, with the NVGs on. And it's very good, right? And if you have your IR laser, you can, do your IR thing here and flip them up with the N key, okay? And it's very good, very fast with that, okay? All right, so, and I would not recommend you run no facewear because that's just stupid, okay? I'd run something. All right, so that's it. The last thing I'll go over is you can change every one of your teammates out if you're running the AI. Go see my AI guide video. I guarantee you that thing is still updated because the AI is still brain dead. But yeah, and you can change your AI hair. I would recommend you play this game with players. It's a hell of a lot more fun than running with AI, I'll tell you that, okay? Other than that, this concludes the gear guide video. If you liked it, leave a like, all that stuff. If you guys like this content and want to support me, I have a Patreon link below that you can go check out with some perks and stuff. Otherwise, I'll see you people later.